This review was written by Steve Bowling and adapted for video by me. When the PS5 launched in late 2020, its pack-in title Astro's Playroom was lauded by many, myself included, as the best game in the console's library. Astro's Playroom was essentially a tech demo, a small game designed to showcase all of the then unfamiliar hardware's neat new features. The fast SSD, the enhanced visual capabilities, the DualSense's haptics, all of it. It was so much more than that though. Team Asobi imbued Astro with so much personality and fun that calls for a full-fledged game were deafening. Now, almost 4 years later, we have that game. Simply titled Astrobot, Team Asobi's latest is a sequel to Astro's Playroom in the same way any Mario game is a sequel to the one that came before it. There's no connection between them from a narrative perspective. So if this is your first Astro game, you've got nothing to worry about. If you have played a previous Astro game, this one's gonna feel familiar to you, at least mechanically. Astro still packs the same arsenal he did in his 2020 outing. He can run, jump, punch, and hover the same way he did before. Astro is still as cute as ever too. I love the way an umbrella pops out of the top of his head to shield him from the rain, and the way his feet transform into little ice skates when he's on icy terrain. I don't want you to get the wrong impression, however. Astrobot is as different to Astro's Playroom as it is similar. Astro may be the same lovable robot as before, but everything around him this time is different. Rather than taking place entirely inside a gamified PS5, Astrobot is sent against the backdrop of space. As you're traveling across the universe in the PS5 from Astro's Playroom, you encounter Nebulax, a nasty green alien in a UFO that destroys your ship, scattering Astro and his pals across neighboring galaxies. Astro crash lands next to his tattered ship on a deserted planet. This spot becomes a makeshift hub, and is where you'll return after every successful mission. At first, it's completely desolate, but as you rescue bots and find puzzle pieces, it'll slowly transform, revealing diverse environments as you progress through the story. Now seems like a good time to talk about collectibles. Like so many 3D platformers, Astrobot is a collectathon. The goal is to rescue all 300 bots scattered throughout the universe. But you can also collect puzzle pieces to unlock additional features in the game. If you try to find every puzzle piece and bot, you'll quickly unlock the gacha machine that uses the coins you collect in levels, the outfit shop and the ship customization shop, as well as the safari park, which enables Astro's photo mode. The gacha machine doles out props that can make your VIP bots stand out a bit from the crowd, like a couch for the Nathan Drake bot to play Dude Raider on, or a campfire for Kratos to sharpen the Leviathan axe. These props become permanent fixtures at the crash site, making it look more lively. You can also earn outfits from famous PlayStation games for Astro to wear, like Jack, or the Hunter from Bloodborne. And finally, there are also paint jobs available for your ship. Speaking of the ship, that's how Astro escapes the crash site. Rather than the PS5 Astro and his friends were on, he speeds off on a DualSense that sports wings and boosters. You can fly freely around the map, although your path is linear. The map also has its handful of secrets. At various points during my playthrough, I spotted asteroids. Flying into them often revealed bonus stages I otherwise would have missed, like this retro-themed one in which I had to take down unique pixelated enemies. Others had me taking the floor out from underneath enemies, and yet others were based on PlayStation's famous button patterns. As you start, you'll be able to enter just one galaxy. Each galaxy contains a handful of planets, and each of those is capped off by a boss that requires a certain amount of rescued bots to unlock. I thought I wouldn't like the linear progression, but honestly, I don't mind. As soon as I landed on my first planet, I did something I've become accustomed to with current-gen games. I paused the game and I opened up the settings. I was looking for a quality or performance mode toggle to make sure I got the right experience, and I was surprised to find that none exists. The reason? Astro runs at a rock-solid 4K 60 frames per second. Not even once in my entire playthrough of the game did I experience a single hiccup, hitch, or stutter. Despite numerous explosions and visual effects going on, Astro glided along smooth as can be. It was refreshing to have an experience I didn't need to tailor to my needs. Once I unpaused and got into the game proper, I was impressed. Technical performance aside, Astro's levels are incredibly well designed and thought out. Every corner of every planet hides some new secret to stumble across. Whether it's a handful of coins, a bot, a puzzle piece, or rarely, even a secret exit. Each galaxy houses 2 secret exits hidden on 2 of its planets. The first time I stumbled upon one of these, I was so excited to have found it. They're reminiscent of the secret exits in Super Mario World, and they lead to the Lost Galaxy, which has unique levels and even some unique power-ups that only make a few appearances throughout the game, like this one that turns Astro into a giant sponge. These levels are generally shorter than what you'll see in the other 5 galaxies, but they're some of the most creative set pieces in the entire game. There's no greater set piece in any game than its boss battles, and Astro doesn't disappoint. At the end of each galaxy, Astro has to take on its boss, and while each of them are cartoony in nature, they're incredible in scale. While the entire game is a visual spectacle, these encounters in particular show just how much the PS5 is capable of. One of my favorites sees Astro running his way across a snake as it winds its way through a desert. While I wouldn't call any of Astro's boss battles tough, they are thrilling. I loved fighting atop a bird, flying through the sky and dodging its shots. Just like the levels that precede them, each boss battle is made with such care that it's impossible not to be wowed by them. This is the part of the review where I'd usually start talking about which levels I liked less than others, drawing comparisons between the good parts of a game and the ones I didn't love as much. But every level in Astro Bot is my favorite. All of them are so well crafted and so full of moments that filled me with joy that I can't choose. Even levels I didn't expect to like an early game construction themed area, are created with so much exuberance that it's hard not to smile as you experience them. Team Asobi are masters of dynamically shifting environment, and that mastery is on full display throughout Astro Bot. That construction level I mentioned takes place in the clouds. As you make your way through the level, gigantic bots with adorable smiles on their faces move enormous structures to help create a path for their little pal Astro to run across. Another level sees Astro dynamically changing between night and day at the push of a button, while also rotating the entire level structure. In another, Astro gets his own take on Mario 64's Jolly Roger Bay, in which he frees a giant starfish bot. There's no end to the variety on display, and we haven't even touched the power-ups yet. That's right, Astro Bot has its own set of unique power-ups. Some are new takes on those found in Astro's Playroom, but many are entirely new. Most of Astro's power-ups are animal-themed, though this time rather than being suits Astro wears, these are companion bots that'll ride on his back, like a small monkey that helps Astro climb, swing, and attack. Or a pair of frogs that attach to his hands and act like boxing gloves, or even a bulldog that gives Astro a charging attack. There are others like the magnet that allows Astro to collect and throw metal debris, but my favorite is the stopwatch bot, which allows Astro to slow down time and enables some of the most impressive moments I've experienced in this game. Like jumping across blades thrown by an enemy that are practically frozen in place, or watching a bot I attack slowly shatter. Power-ups are used to great effect across all of Astro Bot's stages. While they are reused occasionally, no single power-up overstays its welcome. Anytime I got the opportunity to fly through the air or roll into a tiny invincible ball, I couldn't help but smile. After each boss battle, you're treated to a final challenge that puts you in the shoes of a character from PlayStation's history, complete with unique gameplay mechanics. I don't want to spoil them here, but each one of these was an absolute highlight of the game, from embodying more modern characters to those we haven't seen in a long time. These hero moments are some of the best I've played in this generation. Hearing the pitter-patter of Astro's footsteps through the DualSense speaker, or feeling the subtle change in vibration as I search for a pushable block impressed me no matter how many times I experienced it. Team Asobi showed a level of mastery on the platform they develop on that's rarely seen outside of Nintendo's first-party studios. Astro Bot's story culminates in an all-out battle between the bots and Nebulax that felt like more than just an epic boss battle. It was a celebration of gaming that brought me to tears. The amount of love Team Asobi put into Astro Bot's penultimate sequence is one that will stay with me forever. By the time I rolled credits on Astro Bot, I was ready to jump right back in. While I haven't 100% completed the game, it is on the shorter side. My time with Astro Bot clocked in around 8 hours, and Brandon, that's me, who's editing this video, completed the game fully in under 10. I personally enjoyed Astro's smaller size, but your mileage may vary. It's hard for me to fault a game that is this well put together for being too short, but there's no real right or wrong way to look at it. Some may justifiably feel that they want more for their money than Astro is offering. This is a much larger game than Playroom, and I managed to get 21 hours out of that in pursuit of the Platinum Trophy, so there's no telling where my total playtime will end up. What I can tell you, however, is this. Astrobot is an encapsulation of what I love so much about this medium. It's escapism at its finest, and a celebration of one of gaming's most venerated platforms. It's a reminder that first and foremost, games are fun. They take us away from the things that weigh us down and fill our hearts and minds with joy. For many of us, they help us through some of the most difficult periods of our lives. Astrobot is more than a competent platformer and a technical showcase. It's the game that will make a new generation fall in love with the medium. And for those of us that already have, it's a powerful reminder of why we did.